Hi there, I'm Karen Marie, and this is Psyched Up for Sunday, October 31st, 2021. Happy Halloween. And thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate those of you who watch every week and tell me how much you like these videos. Means so much. And if this is your first time to be watching this video, welcome. Glad you're here. Please subscribe to this channel, share it with your friends. Okay, so I'm going to start off by talking about the transits for this week and some powerful transits that we're going to be having between now and the end of the year. Then I'm going to go in and do readings for all the signs, and I'll put the timestamps below this video so you can check out your sun sign, moon sign, your rising sign, or if you have a stellium, which means 3 or more planets in a certain sign. So make sure and check out all the videos that apply to you personally. If you do not know what your moon, what your rising sign is, you can go to astro.com, astro.com. It's a free, you can register for free and plug in your birth time, place, and date to get the rising and the moon and where all the planets are on your chart. And there's lovely things that you can check out for free on that site. If you're wanting to dive more deeply into your own astrology, it's a great website to start with. Another service that I recommend highly and subscribe to myself is SiriusJoy.com, SIRIUS, like the star, SiriusJoy.com. The first month is $3.99 to try it out, and then it's just under $20 a month after that, worth every penny and more so. I could go on and on and on about everything that service provides. Highly recommend that. So if you're wanting to dive more deeply yourself and study astrology some more on your own, go for it. Those are the 2 things I recommend. For me, I read my first astrology book when I was about 10, it's Linda Goodman's Sun Signs, and I was fascinated by the sun signs. And then once I started learning that there was way more to astrology than just your sun sign, the moon sign, sun, moon, and rising are the 3 most important signs. And if you don't know your time of birth, you won't know your rising sign or the exact placement of where the moon is, because the moon moves throughout the day and the rising sign changes every 2 hours. So important to dig that up if you can find it. It's usually on your birth certificate, but not always. You can, I've had lots of clients send in for a long version from wherever they were born, the county that they were born, and request a long version of their birth certificate, and they will often find it there. It can be written in a Bible or a baby book, or sometimes relatives remember the time that you were born exactly. So there are forensic astrologers out there who will take 7 important events in your life and be able to come back with what your rising sign is, which I think is fascinating. I have not learned how to do that yet, but that is just fascinating to me. When I first started learning about like the houses and the trines and the squares and the oppositions, I'm like, wait, hold up, way too much math. Like that's no. So, and then over time, I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll learn a little bit. And I just started studying it. And the more I study, the more I starts clicking in. And then being a channel, I start just being able to channel with the astrology like I've been able to channel with the tarot cards for almost 34 years. I started doing professional psychic readings in 1988. So when I do readings for clients, I usually start with the birth chart and see what I see going on. I had an astrologer friend back in the day call it your kisses and your quacks. And then look at the transits and how those are affecting you right now. And then usually go into the tarot card and channel with that, starting with a general reading and then moving into any specific questions that you have. So if you're looking for a more in-depth view of what's going on in your world and your life, you can contact me for a reading and be happy to schedule that. I've been doing my readings over Zoom or on the phone. And so I'll put my website contact information as well as my email below this. And then also, if you're on Facebook or Instagram, every day I post a 1-minute video where I talk about the daily transits. So, or I draw a card. It's 1 minute. So it's whatever I get to do in that day. So you can check those out as well. And I'll be putting those links below as well. So I'm going to start off talking about the transits for this week. Right now, as we start I'm recording this Sunday evening. The sun is in Scorpio. The moon is in Virgo. So Mars has also just entered a couple days ago Scorpio. So now we have 2 planets in Scorpio. So anytime the sun is moving through Scorpio, we call it the Scorpio season. So Scorpio season is, I talked about that last week too on the video. So you can check that one out if you want to know more about that. But it's basically psychic intuitions are heightened during Scorpio season. We have a tendency to dive deeper within ourselves. It's the deep, dark waters. It's the most intense of all the water signs. So we can really, and it's where secrets can be revealed when planets are moving through Scorpio. Intuition is heightened. That's my favorite thing about Scorpio season, is like psychic abilities just seem to be turned up a notch. And I'm a firm believer that everyone has psychic abilities. We're all intuitive. For some of us, the volume is just turned up louder than others, and other people's volumes turned down or off. Everyone can turn up the volume of their own intuitive abilities. And if you need help with that, that's also something I do in my private work. And everybody's intuition shows up in different ways. But for everyone, that intuitive voice, your intuition, is the connection with the divine self within you. Call that your higher self, your Buddha nature, your Christ self, whatever you want to call it. It is the connection with our spirit and the part of us that goes on into the next realm after we put our ego and our body down. So it's the higher guidance system in our lives if we listen to it. I call it our GPS system. You listen to and then follow your own GPS system, you're going to be on track for your life. You'll feel a rhythm, a flow, you'll get confirmation. Conversely, if you're off track, which usually happens when you try to figure out, coming from the little computer brain, making things happen, or you're following what someone else has told you to do or what you've learned from someone else, we can pull ourselves off track, right? It takes a lot of courage sometimes to just take a big leap of faith and go with our intuition. But I believe the intuition should be the driver and the navigator, and the logical rational mind should be the co-pilot, right? So we get the intuitive guidance, the download about how to take action, and then the logical mind goes, okay, yeah, I can get behind that. Whereas if we lead with the rational mind, it may make all the logical sense in the world, but we could pull ourselves completely off track in that way. So when I'm doing readings, I feel like I hold a big mirror up for my clients and help validate your own intuition. All righty. So sun in Scorpio, moon in Virgo as we start this week. And then on Monday, tomorrow, we'll have Mercury trining Jupiter. It's already in a trine right now, Sunday evening. So a trine is a positive relationship between Mercury, the planet that represents our thoughts, our communication, and Jupiter, which is about belief systems. It's a beneficent. It brings good luck. So there can be some really beautiful conversations that are going on Sunday, today, and Monday. So that's a positive to start off the week. Then we get into a kind of quacky relationship. Mercury then squares, which is a more conflicting relationship with Pluto. Pluto is the planet that represents death and transformation and power and control. It's really a prominent player. It's been a prominent player this whole last year. It will be the most intensive we've ever experienced. I know you think 2020 has been difficult, and 2021, 2022 is when we'll have our United States Pluto return. So death and transformation meeting up. Power and control, death and transformation meeting up exact. It is going to be transformative in our society, in our world. It's unprecedented. This is the first time that Pluto's come back around to the same spot in the skies that it was when the United States was formed back July 4th, 1776. And think about the paradigm that was going on when we formed our country. Who was it that was signing the Declaration of Independence, right? It was rich white men. And what we were doing, we were rebelling against another government, right? We won't pay those taxes. So talk about rebellion. I just see all kinds of rebellion going on next year. And we have Pluto in an exact conjunction 3 different times next year in 2022, starting in February. It's already conjunct right now. It's 3 degrees off now. So we're already feeling it. We've been feeling it for a while. And any planet in the last degrees of any sign is the testing point of whatever the lessons were for that sign. And Pluto, for example, moved into Capricorn in 2008. And in the United States chart, that's in the United States second house. And the second house is ruled by Taurus, and it represents things, it's Venusian, what we love, but it's also our money. It's our economy, it's our values, it's our food and how we grow things, it's how we store things, including our money. So just think of what's gone on since 2008, since Pluto has been transiting through Capricorn. The Great Recession in 2008 happened. Think of like Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, all those have come onto the scene, Bitcoin, all these different ways of handling money. Transformation when it comes to our money has been happening. I would not be surprised at all if we don't have crashes with the stock market, banks going belly up. Like, I don't know how it's going to show up. It's going to be transformative here in the next couple of years. Pluto finally moves into Aquarius to stay in 2024. So between now and 2024, it'll be the most intensive period of time that any of us have ever experienced, right? And that's going to trump 2020 and 2021. Just saying. That's my prediction anyway, is that breathe deeply and often and up your spiritual program so that you can listen to your intuition and know how to navigate these completely transformative times we're about to be moving through. All right. So Mercury squaring Pluto on Tuesday. We also will have Venus crossing the galactic center in Sagittarius. So the galactic center right now is at 27 degrees of Sag. When most of us were born, it was at 26 degrees, so it's shifted. The galactic center is like the belly button of our little world here. And so anytime a planet crosses over it, it can be global things that happen. So Venus is planet of love, relationships, money, once again, crossing the galactic center. So it could be something that happens that shows up in that way. I wrote in my notes, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. So hopefully it could be something wonderful on the world stage that happens. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's some volatility in the stock market. Like I said, I sense volatility in the stock market for the next couple of years. Also because Uranus, the great awakener, is in Taurus, right? So Taurus, again, the same kind of things that I was talking about in the second house, because second house is ruled by Taurus. It's literally our Earth. Taurus represents our planet Earth. So Uranus is shaking up planet Earth. Think of all the crazy weather we've been having for the last several years. That will continue for a few more years. And so Taurus ruled Aquarius over here. Like, it's ruled by Uranus is ruled by Aquarius, but it's in Taurus. So Taurus likes to keep things stable, likes to know what the plan is. And Uranus is a maverick. It wakes things up, it shifts things, it changes things. So it is transforming things. So between Pluto and Uranus, we're getting transformed in the realm of what we value, our money, our relationships. The moon moves into Libra on Tuesday and Wednesday. Mercury moves out of shadow. That means it moves out of the place where it was when it went retrograde. So it means Mercury retrograde and its shadow period are officially over Tuesday, Wednesday. Then the moon goes into Scorpio and crosses over Mars on early Thursday. So the moon is our intuition and our feelings, moving into a very psychic sign. So when the moon goes into Scorpio, we have heightened psychic abilities, dreams can be vivid, psychic energy, being able to pick up on others for everyone is heightened. And then Mars is the god of war. It's how we put energy into things. It's our ego. So with the moon crossing over this, it could add some spark. Secrets can be revealed. with the moon going into Scorpio, and there could be volatile energy going on with the moon going over Mars. Also, on Thursday at 4:14 p.m. Austin time, we'll have the new moon in Scorpio at 12 degrees of Scorpio. So new moons are always a great time to start new things, new beginnings, starting a new cycle. This new moon is particularly potent and powerful because it initiates this lunar cycle that's going to include a lunar eclipse. So we'll be having a full moon lunar eclipse on the 19th in Taurus, which is opposite, right? So we're going to have the new moon in Scorpio, and then 2 weeks later, we'll have the full moon lunar eclipse, and that will be in Taurus. What's extra potent about this new moon is it's exactly opposite Uranus in the sky. So this great awakener is going to be exactly opposite. Opposite is like a tug of war, can create a tension. Uranus brings sudden, unexpected things. It can be sudden, unexpected, positive things, as well as sudden, unexpected, disconcerting things. Whatever it's going to be, it's curveballs, right? So this new moon is at 12 degrees, exactly opposite Uranus at 12 degrees. So there can be something really powerful that starts. And also Scorpio Taurus axis is our money axis. Taurus is how we earn our money, how we store our money, what we value about money. And then Scorpio is the merging of our monies together, how we merge with others, how we receive money from others. Scorpio can be inheritances and money that people give us. So there could be some surprise money stuff that happens with this new moon. Again, in our personal worlds or in our global world, but particularly here in the United States. And of course, we're the world leader, so whatever happens here happens everywhere. It affects the whole planet. What else do I have in my notes about this week? Okay, so Mercury goes into Scorpio and joins the party there with Mars and the Sun on Friday. And Venus will go into Capricorn on Friday. So on Friday, we may feel this weird shift when two planets are changing signs on the same day. So Mercury, our communication, going into Scorpio, then Venus, our love and our relationships, going into Capricorn. This could be disconcerting as well. It can feel just kind of wanky and weird a little bit. So let me tell you about some more. So I already told you about the lunar eclipse that's going to be happening on November 19th. Before that, the sun will be trining Neptune retrograde on November 12th at 20 degrees. So this is another positive. It can be like revelations that day. Like Neptune on a positive end is our psychic and spiritual connection and downloads. On a negative end, it can be delusion, illusion. But the sun trining Neptune usually brings out the positive aspects of Neptune. So we have this very positive energy with Neptune right before we go into this full moon lunar eclipse. And eclipses are portal points. It's transformational periods. We'll also be having a solar eclipse December 4th. So that is going to be like, we're heading in. So this new moon basically kicks off eclipse season. December is also going to be a super powerful, who knows? These next 2 months, and then going into this next year, I think it's just going to be off the chart stuff. Like duck and cover, breathe deeply and often, meditate every day. That's what I recommend so that you can know how to take your actions out in the world. Why do I say that? Venus goes retrograde in December. It's going to be conjunct Pluto most of the month. So Venus, what we love, who we love, conjunct, close to Pluto, death and transformation. So you can have relationships coming in and going out, endings about relationships, beginnings into relationships, money stuff. Again, Venus is money, in and out. So Venus goes retrograde on December 19th, conjuncting Pluto. It's going to be conjuncting Pluto for most of the month of December. So December is going to be very interesting relationship wise and also financially for everybody. Then on December 24th, right before Christmas, we have Saturn and Uranus making its third and final square. The first square was back in February, when here in Texas, we had the Great Freeze. So Saturn, our rules, our structures, it's the government. And then Uranus, the Great Awakener, we had sudden unexpected things like sudden unexpected weather that forced us all to be sheltering in our homes, and, you know, power and control issues with the who runs the electric company here, and like our water, our electricity, all that was just cray cray. June was another square. It was a milder square as far as I felt it personally and what I saw out in the world. I'm not sure how the square right before Christmas is going to show up, but Venus will already be retrograde conjunct Pluto when we have this square. So it can be super intensive. And then in January, the nodes change signs. So we've been moving through the North Node, which they usually move backwards. They will turn and do a little retro. And when the nodes go retro, they're actually moving forward a little, right? So, but in general, the nodes are always moving in a retrograde manner, or the rest of the planets will be moving direct, except when they go through periods of retrograde. So the cycle of the nodes, it takes about 18 months. So for the last 18 months, we've been moving through the North Node, which is what we're learning here, everybody on the planet, what we're being taught, new things being discovered through the sign of Gemini, Gemini ruling communication, our social media, what has happened in the social media platforms in the last 18 months, right? What about communications of all kinds, technology, all that. So we've been having this theme of the North Node moving through Gemini, the South Node moving through Sagittarius. In January, we're starting a new theme for the next 18 months where the North Node will be moving through Taurus. Again, these things I was talking about, Venus, money, these kind of issues. And then the South Node will be in Scorpio, right? So I'll talk more about that as it gets closer, but we're headed up for some huge and powerful shifts going on. So this new moon on Thursday, I believe, kicks off all these powerful changes we're about to go through. So I feel like that's all I need to talk about. Let me see if I see anything else jumping out at me on my notes. No, that's all I feel like I need to discuss right now for the week. Now, if you want to know more how these transits affect you personally, contact me for a reading. We can look more at where these planets are transiting in what houses, and if you have any planets that they're directly affecting. So if you have a planet that's conjunct or close to or opposing or squaring or trining any of these outer planets or inner planets, like the inner planets are Sun, Moon, Venus, and Mercury. The outer planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto, are more like global affecting. It's more global themes where the inner planets affect us more personally. So when an inner planet goes retrograde, like Mercury just did, we feel it more personally. We'll feel Venus retrograde as well. I find every Venus retrograde, I have past life people come into my life during Venus retrogrades, people that I've known before. Well, I'll meet new people that I've known before, or people I haven't seen in a while will factor back in, or I'll, you know, old loves will resurface. That's how I personally experience. But with this conjunction to Pluto, whatever's going on with Venus in your life is going to be transformative. So anyway, we should have a very interesting end of the year going on. All right, so now I'll move into mini readings for all 12 signs, starting with Aries. Once again, this is if you're Sun, Moon, Rising, or if you're the stellium in Aries. And for those of you who are interested, I use the Osho Zen Tarot deck. It's a non-traditional tarot deck. The clinging to the past card is coming up. So this is where you find yourself in a repeated pattern. Oh, that always happens to me. Or where areas that you feel stuck and you just keep going over and over and over again, the same stuff over and over again. All right. So this is like, if it happened 2 days ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, 2 decades ago, 2 lifetimes ago, 2 seconds ago, it is the past. You can't do anything to change it. So try to bring yourself into the present moment, right? This is through breath work, meditation, chanting, go for a walk, soak in the tub. What can you do to center yourself right now? Sometimes just closing your eyes, focusing in on your body, clearing out the thoughts, clearing out the emotions, and just tuning into how you feel physically, how you feel emotionally, what's going on in your system right now can really be helpful. Chewing on the same gum that's lost its flavor, basically, is not serving you. So please, please, please bring yourself into the present moment. If you're noticing a karmic pattern, I mean, there's time and places for digging into the past, right? Therapy, healing, you can writing in your journal, talking over stuff. But if you find yourself just in a loop repeating karma in the past, that's when you need to step away from the flame. Sometimes for Aries, that flame is right here in the brain. So step away from the mental consternation, take it into meditation, take it into your prayer time, breathe deeply around it, go into the tub, go into the woods, and just be present in this moment. What do you feel guided to do today to get yourself out of that hook? What do you need to realize or see about your patterns? Like, what are you repeating over and over again? Why are you repeating it over and again? What kind of payoff are you getting? Like, even if we're repeating something over and over again, there's something we're getting out of it, even if it's a negative experience. So dig into that a little bit. If you're seeing yourself with a repeating pattern, identify what the repeating pattern is, and then take it into meditation, take it into your prayer time, and ask your higher self, what shift do I need to do around this to really transform this in my life? It feels like it could be a deep week, Aries. Also, clinging to the past can mean someone from your past is coming back into your life. You may have connections with. So it could be positive in that way. Okay, Tauruses. Participation card. This is working with others. It could be getting together with family, your band, your friends, but it's a positive connection where all hands are on deck. You feel like you're working with others. You're not doing it all by yourself. So this is a really beautiful energy of communion with others, collaboration with others. It feels like it's, yeah, you're bringing your piece, other people bringing their pieces, and it feels like you're having this wonderful meal together, symbolically collaborating on a project together, but it takes more than just your energy. So if you're needing some help with something, think, who can help me? What name comes to bring that into your quiet time? I need help with this. I can't do this by myself. Okay, what kind of help are you needing? And does someone in particular arise when you think, okay, well, I don't know how to transform this thing in my life, or this is too big for me or too much, or I don't know how to shift this? Bring that into your meditation, your quiet time, and ask your higher self, is there someone out there that can help me? And if so, who comes across your radar, right? You can also take a question into your sleep, like before you go to sleep, ask for guidance and clarity to come, and you pay attention to what you dream about, because you can often work with your dreams to have guidance come up. But it feels like that this is a lovely week of connecting with others for the Tauruses. Geminis. Celebration card is going on for the Gemini. So this is good news. It's connecting with others. It's doing social things, having fun. For women, I often see this as like connecting with your sister friends. It can be your sisters or your friends that feel like sisters. This is the power of the female energy, the goddess energy, enjoying life, kicking up your heels, just finding some time to play. This also could be about getting into your inner child and just like, what can you do for fun? But this celebration can be good news. You get the job, you get the answer that you were looking for. Your person says, yes, I'll do that for you. I'll do that with you. So this is a good news celebration energy. It feels like it's going to be a good week of something positive shifting for you. Nice. Cancers. The sorrow card is coming up. So this could be sorrow around you may have lost someone. Either someone has passed away and you're still grieving the loss of that person in your life, or you've lost a friendship. They're not actually deceased, but they've moved away from your life. And there can be some grief, even if the ending of a friendship, the ending of a relationship, the ending of a job, moving somewhere, there can be some sorrow coming up. The Cancers, and you guys are so sensitive too. So just give yourself extra self-care this week is what I'm getting. Allow yourself to cry if you need to. You need to like get away from everybody else and climb in the tub or the shower and just let the feelings come up and out. If you try to suppress them, it can implode, and you may want to get some creative energy and draw it out, write a piece of music, write some poetry, paint, get out and do some gardening where you can just ground yourself with the feelings. But this too shall pass. But it does feel like it could be a little bit difficult emotionally and feeling a little bit weighed down. Like, oh, I got to do all this. And then I just don't feel like it. That's kind of what it feels like for the Cancers. But nurture yourself, give yourself a hug, ask for a hug if you need to from someone else, and know that this too shall pass. You'll be feeling more optimistic and loving soon. All righty. Leos. Flowering card. So this is opportunity. You're doing good in your job. You're doing great. You're feeling good. Your kids are behaving. You've got a new love in your life. Yeah, it just feels like you're feeling on your A game this week, Leos. And there's a lot to be celebrating. This woman sitting on a lotus flower. So that feels like you've gone through some transformation too. You're finding the value in yourself. That I'm drawn to this green energy too. So it feels like there may have been some healing that you've been going through. But she's smiling. She's feeling good. She's feeling happy, feeling peaceful. The new moon feels particularly powerful for you too this week. So make sure you're setting your intention for what you want in this next lunar cycle, what kind of transformation and change you want to receive in your life. And I'm getting all the colored bands on her arm too. So it may be time to pick up some colors of some sort, paints, adult coloring book, markers, crayons, pastels. And be creative in some, or you may be picking out colors of clothing or something for your home with colors. Yeah, it feels like there's some creative juju going as well this week. So that feels good. Virgos. Cards want to be ornery. The laziness card. So it doesn't mean you're necessarily lazy. It can. it could mean that you're procrastinating about doing something, just not taking action towards something that you need to. It also could mean you're sick or stuck or frozen and just can't move or don't want to. It could also mean you're on vacation, you're taking a vacation day, taking a sick day, and like, I'm checking out, I don't want to do this. But there's not chi flowing in the way that you'd like it to this week. Again, I'm seeing this blue sky energy is really standing out to me. So it feels like it may be real important just to get outside and just be. This may be a week where you don't have to be a human doing, you can be a human being. It's what is your self-talk along with your actions? Like if you are beating yourself up for not doing something you're procrastinating about, that's a toxic energy you're generating. If you can tell yourself, well, I'll be getting to that. I'm going to take that. You can make a plan, take a step in the right direction. If you're on vacation, you're supposed to be enjoying it and doing nothing, right? So it just all depends on how it affects you directly. And on a rare occasion, this card is actually laziness. You're just like, whatever. But most of the cases, it's not that. So just saying, I'm not calling you lazy. But it does feel like you might feel off this week. And this too shall pass. All right, Libras. Creator card. Powerful week for the Libras. If you can conceive of it, believe in it, and take action towards it, affirm positive things around it, you can make it happen. And so there's something you're making happen this week. This new moon feels particularly powerful for the Libras too. So make sure you're setting a clear intention for what areas that you want to be transformed, Scorpio, this week in this next lunar cycle as well. So the power is within you. Don't give your power away to other people. Own your own power. You have the power to transform your life. You have the power to tap into your own higher self, your own inner guidance, and illuminate the way for others as well. It feels like whatever you get going this week is affecting other people in a positive way as well. It's not just a selfish thing. It may feel really good for you. If it's feeling really good for you, it feels like it spills out and is good for other people as well. So good week for the Libras. Scorpios. Having maybe had a birthday this last week or a birthday coming up. Happy birthday, if that's the case. The Rebirth card. This is positive change, transformation. So the story behind this card is that it starts off with the camel, beast of burden, doesn't move very fast, is, carrying everybody else's stuff. Out of the camel comes the lion. It's often, I've always thought it was interesting that the word courage has the word rage in it. And sometimes when we get pissed off about something, we actually get emotion about it. So out of this stuck place comes the ferocity of the lion getting things going. But he's like angry here. And then that energy gets tempered into the beautiful spiritual energy of the child playing an instrument, playing music. So it's bringing your life from being stuck, getting in motion, and then really feeling the sweetness of spirit. And you may be experiencing all of these this week with this Rebirth card. And it could be like an area of your life that you're transforming in your relationships or in your career, or you may be changing your home. At any rate, it feels like you're living several weeks in one this week, Scorpios. So enjoy. We'll go to the Sagittarius next. The sharing card. This is the mother card. This is helping other people, bringing the light, bringing the food, bringing the love. I've got the ideas. I can do it. I can get her done. enjoying being social. You may be planning Thanksgiving or Christmas events. You may be doing your shopping for others. You may be taking food or helping someone who's sick or laid up somehow. But it feels like it's emphasis on service this week, Sagittarius. Being of service to others and enjoying it. It's not something like, oh, I got to go help others. Like, no, I want to help others is what it feels like. I want to do this for others. So there's bringing the light. I'm really drawn to this candle too. So it feels like whatever you're doing, you may be inspiring others. They may be watching you going, oh, wow, look at her, look at him. So there's a wonderful offering that you're doing to the people that you love is what it feels like. If you're a mom, you may just be doing this for your kiddos, but really like, moms have good days and bad days, right? Good weeks and bad weeks. It feels like it's a positive week. If you're a mom, of being a mom, maybe you get the news that you're going to be a mom for some Sagittarius. Maybe you're going to connect with your mother. There's a definitely strong connection with mother energy. If your mother's crossed, you may get a sign that she's around and still with you. So at any rate, it feels like it's going to be a positive week for the Sagittarius. Capricorns, you're next. Going with the flow. Not so easy for you guys. The Capricorns are strong leaders usually. You usually have people following you. You're blazing new trails. And this is like, oh, you mean I could chill? I can just feel this out. I can let it go. Yeah, you can let things flow this week. There's an emphasis on water too. So drinking more water, maybe soaking in the tub or a hot tub or taking more showers or going to be by some water. Feels like a very strong draw to you, but it feels like there's a nice flow and synchronicity, like you're getting confirmation that you're in the right path, on the right track this week. So that like when there's a synchronicity going on, it feels like your psychic abilities are heightened too. Like you might be thinking about someone and then they contact you, or vice versa. You may be calling someone else up and they go, I was just thinking about you. There seems like there's that synchronicity and just flow in a lot of different ways this week for you guys, Capricorn. So enjoy. Aquarius. The moment to moment card. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck. This is, what is the next right step? What do I feel guided to do today? And or if that's too big of a task, what do I feel guided to do right now, this moment? And just following the breadcrumbs. You don't have to have the big picture figured out. All you have to do is follow your inner voice right now, this moment. All right. If you feel stuck, you don't know, you feel overwhelmed, it's just about go into meditation, go into chanting, prayer, go for a walk, soak in the tub, whatever connects you with your own higher self. And then ask your higher self that question, what this moment do I feel guided to do? You just take one step at a time. That's all we have to figure it out. All we ever have to do is be fully present today and listen to our guidance. And then you're going to be moving towards great things. Feels like there's a lot of change, a lot that's been on your plate. So break it down, make it easy for yourself. What's the next step? What's the next baby step? Yeah, but it feels good. It feels like there's progress happening. It's forward movement. It just feels like you don't know how it all is going to come about. You don't know how all the pieces are going to land yet. It's okay. You don't have to. Just do today. All right. And then we have the Pisces. The inner voice card. So y'all are slippery fish, right? We got the two dolphins here. Could resonate to this card anyway. Pisces are usually very psychic, very sensitive. So this is an affirmation, though, that your intuition is on, that whatever signals that you're getting, you're right on with it. You may be picking up on someone else. You may be getting information for yourself or others. You may be channeling. Things may be just coming out of your mouth when you're in conversations with others that are like right on. But it feels like there is illumination when it comes to your intuition this week. Psychic abilities are turned up. Be a great week to be journal writing down the insights that you receive or that you find yourself doing, or the synchronous events that you find yourself involved in, like you're following your guidance and then you get a confirmation. Write it down. So it feels like it can be a super transformative week. And there's connections from others. Like, I really get the feeling that other people are also thinking about you, and you be able to pick up on that. So your psychic connections with others, non-verbally, it may be people that you live with that you're picking up on, but that may be people in other places around the globe, or even in spirit, that you are feeling strongly connected with, because your psychic radar dial is turned up this week, Pisces. So that's it. That's what I have for everybody. I hope everybody has had a wonderful October, and set your intentions for the new moon on Thursday, and find some time for some peace.